Thank y'all for tuning in to Street Talk Media. Okay, podcast show and we live and direct. Man, thank y'all for joining. I want to give a shout out to Just Paul, Foon Show, and you already know everybody that's in that video right there. Man, they go Lady E. Shout out to Lady E. What's up, girl?
Hey, what's going on? What's going on?
I see you in the car riding.
Right. I ain't missing nothing.
I see you. I see you
Even when
riding. It's all good. You know,
even when
look,
I'm in the even when I'm on the move, I ain't missing nothing.
look, we do it however we can already. Look, I was already giving a shout out to the intro to Just Paul and them. So I'm gonna go ahead and give a shout out to my man Breezy, okay, Chris Breezy, and he ain't give me this. I wish he did, but nah, he ain't give me this. But nah, you see, I got on the Chris Brown way. So shout out to Chris Breezy, man. Man, look, we got a live show. Look, we it's what Throwdown Thursdays.
Throw down Thursday. I know looking like I'm all stuck already.
It's all good. It's Throwdown Thursdays. So look, I had this wild topic, man. And in the first one, let me explain, which a lot of people already know. And I actually um I actually know. Oops, shit. I actually know some people. Hold up. Hold up. God damn it. All right, there you go. Hood, you want cuz?
Yeah.
He need to put his light on so we can see him.
Look, turn your light on, boy. We can't see you.
Hold on.
Look,
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
had I had this wild topic that I wanted to run down to y'all right quick because y'all already know, and I know a few people personally that's went through this as far as when you have obviously a baby with somebody and the woman puts another man's name on the birth certificate. Y'all ever heard
Yeah.
about that?
Oh
Yeah.
yeah. I mean, yeah.
So
Or not even that. Or they put the father on the birth certificate and don't even be. It ain't the father.
hold on, E. What you say?
Well, she put the nigga's name on the birth certificate and knowing damn well he ain't the father.
Oh, now that's even more crazier right there. I'm talking about like she with another dude type of thing, and she put that dude as the birth father, basically. You know what I mean? Like, so what y'all talking about? That's even crazier. But man, Hood, what you think about that, man?
Yeah. I seen that before. I know people like that. They call
It,
them fathers by
It be
default.
happening.
it's what you say.
By
Called a father
default.
by default.
Yeah. That happened to the dude in Detroit. He did 20 years in jail. Then he got out and he still owed 36,000 for child support
Mm.
from like 1995. And they told him that he had to pay it because the girl put him down to get the benefits. Because back at one point they started making women put a father down. Now they don't make them put a father down, but you could sign it. If you sign it, you will be responsible for the child. So when I went to court, they said that's why they give you a DNA test. Because they said if you verbally omit, it's called verbally omitting. So like if you verbally omit, like this is my child, like you believe that's your child, and you like I don't want no DNA test, like some stupid niggas do, and you do just agree to get a DNA test, and then it come back that it's not your child years later or even a year later. It's more difficult to get your name off of the document than it is to put it on. So that's why they recommend that you take a DNA test in court. Some people go there, like husbands be married to their wives for years, and then when they get divorced, they go in court and they find out children not theirs.
Exactly. That's what I
Right.
was talking about. And
Yeah.
then can you get your money back for all the money that you
No,
spent on this kid to come to
no,
find out later on that wasn't even yours?
no. You can't get no money back. And it's pretty strange, but it just lets you know that the courts got too much control into these type of situations, and that's what I really wanted to express to the courts. Like, I don't mind y'all making people pay, but top like I was thinking of a topic like this too. It's crazy you thought of that because I was thinking about damn, but what I was trying to say, like, if it's sort of up that alley, but I know for a fact that yeah, it's difficult to get your name off them things. You can't get them off.
Look, y'all ever heard of this? I'm gonna run down another tricky one. And look, I forgot where I actually heard this, but look, I want the viewers to do the research on it, and just look it up, pull it up on Google or something. So listen to this. If if you are like the new boyfriend, the new man type of situation, just like what you were saying, Hood, like the father by default in a way. Now listen to this. Did you know that the woman could take the new man for child support for the kid that was not his?
Yeah,
You heard about that?
yeah,
No, I did not. Well, see,
yeah.
I've heard of niggas, the women taking their dues to for child support and get denied, and now the new dude is now, what I'm saying, taking care of, the other kids that ain't his, and I'm like, why you worried about getting money off of me? But when you got multiple kids by multiple dudes, why ain't all of us on child support? Why you only picking one of them to be on child support? And now I feel like not only am I supporting my child, but now I'm supporting all these other niggas' kids. I've seen that.
Yeah. She mad at that one. Oh, he the one who make the most money. He got a job. That's what the court said too. Because if you put a man on child support and you only put one on child support, they cut off your TANF and stuff. So it becomes his responsibility to pay for your lifestyle. That's what the judge said to me.
Mm-hmm. Right.
But
Right.
but what I was thinking was since the courts got so much power, I remember what I was thinking. Why don't they take the bum ass baby mothers and hook them up with the bum dudes, and take the good baby mothers and hook them up with the good dudes? Since they got so much power in these situations, and just let me be a power to a good situation, because it's so backwards out here. The good women who will like be independent and take care of their own children always get the dude who don't want to help, and then you get the men who will take care of their children. They always end up with the baby mothers who want to put them on child support, but they basically take care of the child. The woman just be bitter. So if the courts got so much power, how about they start playing matchmaker and match me up with somebody who equally equivalent to me, and then take all the bum baby daddies with the girl that don't want to work and the dude that don't want to work, hook them up together and let them do their thing. Because that's what they basically be saying. Because they show you that they make people don't want to do nothing. Because I know people on child support right now that won't even get a job because they on child support. I done seen men quit their jobs because they was gonna get put on child support. Literally quit their job. Good
Right.
job. Like if you don't remember a couple years ago, the police officer was cheating with the security guard, and he
I
was
do
married.
everything, Mom.
And, and the girl got pregnant and had the baby. So
What's up, D?
he called her to a park in Oxon Hill, killed her and left the baby in the car. You don't remember that? That really happened. He
Nah.
left the baby. He left the baby in the car. He killed the mother all because the girl was gonna put him on child support, and that basically meant that his name was gonna be on documentation, and his wife was gonna find out that he had an affair. And he was a DC police officer. That child support stuff is serious. People really hurt you about that stuff because it exposes a lot of stuff when you go take somebody down there and get their name put on stuff, and it's embarrassing, and it's almost like it make you feel bad. It makes you not want to have sex with the wrong person. That's what child support made me feel like. Like, damn, I fucked the wrong woman. Cause now I'm in here, these people all in my business. They telling you about your money. They ain't even been like nice about it. They telling you whatever you buy the child is a gift. You like, what? Like, yeah, I support my child. They're like, oh, that's a gift. They really say that. Oh, I got all these receipts showing that I paid this and that.
And that's
They
what
was
you're
okay, well,
supposed
that's
to
just
do.
a gift. No, but I'm saying like you supposed to do it, but they still don't give you no type of respect for doing it. So it's like you damned if you do, you damned if you don't. You know what I'm saying? I know it's different for women because some men do need to be on child support. Like if you got a dude, you call your baby father right now, and you say, in 2 weeks, I need $150. These dudes would literally tell some of these women, "Bitch, you don't get out of my face." I done seen that happen. Bitch, get out of my face. I ain't giving you no money. My baby mother called me asking for $150. I'm like, all right, whatever. I might give you 125, this, that, and the third. I'm gonna give you some money. I give it to him. That's a good situation. The courts will tell you the dude who make an effort. Oh, well, we're gonna give her 300. You like, man, she only needed 125. They're like, no, we're gonna take basically all your money. But the dude who don't do nothing, that's their motivation. Some of these dudes out here got more money than dudes with jobs, visibly like liquid money, which means touchable money. And they could go to court and get a child support payment of $10. I think two of my cousins get $10 a month for child support.
Well, look, hold on. Let's go back. Let's go back for a second, Hood. And which I agree with what you're talking about. But let's go back for 1 second now. As far as the women, okay, that have the different father's name, the different man's name on the birth certificate. All right, first of all.
Yeah, you
Now listen, hold up. Now, how do you explain that to the kid? Okay, maybe not as I mean, asking you personally, maybe from the man's point of view. How would you even explain stuff like that to the kid? And then as far as the mother, how would she maybe explain stuff like that when that's what I mean, if that's not your biological father, I guess, but his name is on your birth certificate, though. You feel me?
yeah.
So that's
Well,
actually
first thing she need to
possible.
do, yeah, oh yeah,
Go ahead, see.
Wow. No, I was saying that's actually possible, could happen, that you could put someone else's name on a birth certificate who didn't
uh,
semen the person.
Okay.
I'm asking a question, like, is that even legal?
Yes.
if you sign it, it's called verbally omit. If you sign a birth certificate, like if you there born when a child born and you sign a birth certificate, you legally obligated to be that child's father.
Yeah.
That's
That's why they say
crazy.
you weigh what you sign. That's why you don't sign anything. That's something that we really don't learn. We really don't understand the power of a signature or the power of words or the power of reading or the power of a pen. Because in that situation, it show you that the pen is mightier than the sword. You can do anything physical to that from that point forth. None of that matters because you verbally omit it. Like they tell you, that's why they give you they. That's why they legally have to give you a DNA test. I took my own DNA test from CVS though.
What you
That
think
shit
about
really
that, E? What you think?
it
E?
cost $32.
What you think about
I
that,
mean,
man?
in a way, it's kind of good because if you do have a no good man out here and you are like, I mean, it's been situations probably with women who got pregnant at one point and then along their pregnancy who's willing to be there and step up for that child. I think that that's pretty much a blessing for the child.
It's some feedback. It's some feedback somewhere. I don't know which one. But I
Can you
heard
hear
you a
me?
little bit. Did y'all hear?
Yeah, I
No,
heard.
I
I
was
put it on.
basically saying like it's like a blessing for the child in a way for a man to step up to be in a child's life to actually take that role. It takes a lot to make that commitment and dedication. And I think a child will respect that. The baby father, I mean, it got to be a reason why another man would sign your birth certificate, right? To actually want to step up and sign that birth certificate. So if you didn't want to present yourself as a father, you can't be mad if another man wants to take up that responsibility.
Hey, E, did you want to have something to say about that?
Yeah, as far as like the last name thing is concerned, You know, my thing is, like what we all touched on, if a man is willing to put his name in the birth certificate, knowing that one, it ain't his child, I give all kudos to that man because a lot of men got legally their last names is attached to their children's name and they still don't want to take care of their kids. So I give kudos to dudes who do that. Um, but my thing is, as far as women tricking guys into making them feel as though they're the fathers, this, that, and the third. I mean, that is, you know, that's something I don't respect. And the women's perspective, I would never respect a woman that's gonna put their child on somebody knowingly, knowing that it's not theirs, and kind of just trap them in a situation. I will never respect that.
Yeah, for sure. Look, I'ma use let's use like Walker and Tammy for an example. And even though I don't think his name is on the birth certificate, I think my girl had me watching one of them one day shows, and she wanted Walker to officially like adopt her, that type of thing. You know what I mean? And that goes to what Sierra was saying with, and people just like Hood. I think that Hood be taking care of all kinds of kids, man, straight up. And it's for those people like that like Sierra is talking about, them fathers that are stepping up in those places. And not to say those men are bad fathers, again, because again, I was just using Walker and them as an example. I have no clue about, of course, the real baby father. He could be a good father, so we ain't saying that. We just saying that, right, those men that are stepping up, and taking care of kids that right, that ain't theirs. So big ups to them, for sure. But what you think? What y'all think? As far as the kids, from a kid's point of view, I mean, we all grown, so you can kind of understand certain things. So, how you think a kid feel about some of this stuff?
I think a
When they
kid
get
really
bigger,
doesn't, yeah, a kid doesn't really make sense of it until they are older and start to question
yeah,
different stuff. If it's already a man in the household, they already gonna feel like that man is their father, right? But as they get older, it's up to the parent to say, hey, this is really not your father. You know what I'm saying? If they don't never know, then they ain't gonna never. If the parent don't never bring it to their attention, then they not gonna ever know. But if a parent do bring it to their attention, I think it's they have to allow that free will to be able to say if that child say, "Hey, I want a relationship with my real father." You know what I'm saying? They have to
yeah, I
allow
think,
that free will in order for that
yeah,
person, that child to feel comfortable in their own skin.
Yeah,
Because that child gonna
yeah,
have a whole bunch of questions,
yeah.
a
Because
whole
I
lot of
think
questions.
I don't like the idea that Neil see. It's really controversial because a lot of women don't understand that. They think that they can replace things by like trying to cover it up and make it pretty, like, oh, look what me and your not biological dad did. But one day that child gonna realize like I'm not from these people genes or blood, and I just want to know where I came from and who I am. And that's what I think it is. It'd be mostly curiosity. Because even today, it's some adult women that don't know their biological fathers, and they really yearn for the
I
attention
was
of
about
a
to say
father.
that the same way that adopted kids may feel, like kids that's
Yeah,
adopted, they probably feel the same way.
yeah, I would believe so because I know they do start to want to reach out to them people, want to be around those people, want to know those people. I seen that firsthand, and it's pretty difficult too because a lot of these mothers don't like real mothers who really on that type of stuff. Some of them don't want to disclose who the fathers is. Like it sounds almost unimaginable for somebody to really say like, "Oh, yeah, I fucked that many men that I don't know who your father is." It sounds crazy, but it's women out here that really do it. Like, I don't know who your father is, Shorty.
yeah, for
I
real.
was, I used to be so
But that's
twisted. Yeah, and
but
it's
that's
sad when it's like
but
that.
just like
Yeah, it's
but
sad
just
when
real
it's like
quickly
that.
touch on that real quick. You know, as far as that's concerned, you gotta also think. You know, things are taught to kids at a young age. We talked about this as far as sexuality with the LGBTQ community, with racism, and even with their biological, you know, just growing up. You know, if you teach your child to hate their father, to hate this, to hate that, to hate, they're gonna grow up to hate this and that. Now, once they get to a certain age, they should be able to draw their own opinion about what the situation is. You know, they're gonna see for themselves. But you know, you don't go there like, oh yeah, forget all of this. So I mean, I go through that now with my daughter. I tell her you're stinking, trifling father and all that other stuff. But I can say that now because she's old enough to see it. But when she was younger, I didn't say nothing bad. I let her wait till he got home to make her own opinion. But
Yeah.
I mean, that's why. I mean, it's kind of wild to me, but um, just like you said, E. It's like a lot of stuff that's that's being taught now, and again, some children, like you probably saying, they got to stay in a child place, like just like you say, also Sierra. They'll find out why certain things when they get older. That's for sure. That's a guarantee. It's just I guess how is the woman going to explain certain things, and as far as the birth certificate stuff, but um, man,
So
it's
look, before we move on, I have a question for everybody.
go
How
ahead.
do
What's up?
y'all feel about kids, the battle of, because I know some people they give the parent the child the father's last name, and some people give the mother last name. What is y'all input on that? For me, I feel like my children gonna have the father's last name, right? I got my father's last name. My kids gonna have their father's last name. I just think that it's like a, I don't know, it's just like a, I don't know what to call it, but but I know women, they like, nah, that type of name is earned. You know what I'm saying? To have the father's last name, that type of name is earned or whatever. My kids gonna have my last name, this, that, and the third. And then I had another woman say, well, if my children have, the father last name, how do I look like going to school? And they calling all three kids down here with three different last names but the same mother. So it's kind of like an embarrassment thing at the same time. But what's your input, or what are y'all thoughts on the kids having a father's last name?
What you think, Hood?
well, look,
Old, older people, like for instance, my mother, she said that generally men supposed to carry the father's no, girls supposed to carry their father's name, women. So because it's like a lineage thing, and it's like, I hate to say it, having a son is a difficult thing. People don't realize how it is. It's a blessing in some cultures, but it's difficult because my mother explained to me when I was young that I had to be really careful how I conducted myself in life, because she said the men kill men, or the world kills men. They don't have a problem with killing a man. This is like the first time ever in history that you see so many women dying from gun violence, or a man literally shooting a woman. She said the worst thing that used to happen to a woman when she was growing up was that she would be raped. She said that generally women don't get killed. She said, but you growing up as a young man, you'll start to see other young men young as you dying. And it happened in the seventh grade. Seventh grade, I went to Kramer, and this dude got killed on Halloween night. He was a kid, and I was just looking like, man, I just seen this dude. He wasn't grown. He wasn't a man. He was a boy, and somebody shot this dude like 3 times, and I was just like, damn, So that always stuck out to me. But when you name your child, I felt like I did enough for my children to be named after me, but they weren't. And like your friend said, the women don't know why they're doing it now, but that is the reason why you name all your kids the same name, because it's embarrassing to be called out. And that's something I was thinking about too. Women crazy who think they can have 3, 4 kids by 3, 4 different men and expect somebody to want to marry them. You lost your fucking mind. Nobody is going to marry you with 3 different potential dudes trying to
Yes,
fight
they
about you.
are.
No, they ain't.
know that.
Watch. Why do you many of them little hoes get married? Them bitches hoes. Nobody murdered them
That's
hoes.
just one
That's
opinion
some old
against
flag.
the whole
Soon as you
world.
tell me you got 3 kids, soon as you tell me you
You
got
gotta go.
3 kids, I'm trying to bring some Douce and condoms in your house. Flat out. I ain't going to no dick or nothing. Douce and condoms. So what I think about. Oh,
But
you got 3 kids?
it does bring up a point of legacy, right? Because a mother and her child, they're always going to have a connection, right? Because that's your mother. So it's always going to be that connection there. But say like if the father like got like what if the grandfather, like three grandfathers down the line, then left this whole property to the father, and you can't even determine if this your father or not because it's like the mother didn't get a last name or nothing. So it's like children can be missing out on history and legacy by women being spiteful by giving a mother's last name, if you get what I'm saying. But I do agree, like I feel like all the kids should carry their father's last name. It's just out of a respecting of legacy and down the line or whatever. But I understand like is deadbeat fathers out here. But I'm pretty sure that you knew what you was dealing with when you got yourself into it. So as women, sometimes we just gotta suck it up and be women and be like, you know what, I made a bad decision, but this is how I'm going to proceed.
You was a real respectful woman. I ain't gonna lie. You a real respectful woman. You really is an old. You got an old soul because these new hoes don't know nothing about
I
that.
always get that though. I always get that. They
For
be
real,
like,
because they don't even
you like a
understand it.
little
They don't even
grandma.
understand it. They don't even understand it. They so caught up in what people say. And that's what I be telling them. That's the downfall of having children with the wrong people. And it's a lot of
But it
different
comes
scenarios
with
that
time and
happen.
knowledge to learn that. Like I wasn't always that knowledgeable or that accepted. Like you grow to be that person. Like all right, I've had troubles with my baby father too, and it's been times when we were toxic and physical and all that other stuff. But I mean, at some point, you gotta grow out of that to become a better person because it's like, what you gonna be bitter your whole life?
Yeah. What you think, lady? She over there drinking my guys and shit.
Well, I'm gonna say this as far as the name thing. Okay, so I named my daughter after her father because I don't actually even have my mother's maiden name nor my father's name. You know what I'm saying? I have my mother's married name, which wasn't my father. But like you
Yeah.
said, my mother wanted to make sure that all of us had the same last name, me, my brother, and my sister. Um, but my father's maiden name, and I know who my father is, but I don't have my father's last name. So I wasn't going to give my daughter a name that really didn't, that
Belong to
wasn't
you.
really in the family. You know what I'm saying? Like if I was gonna give her any other name, then I would have had to give her my mother's maiden name, and then
If
that still
people
would have
talking
been
like
my
that,
last name.
I think people talking around you, probably. I think we picking them up.
You picking them up?
Yeah, whoever around you, maybe.
Hold on.
And she drinking my time and shit.
But
So
yeah,
I'm gonna step outside real quick.
look,
So, but I mean, but did
I
y'all get what
agree
I
with
was saying as
Sierra.
far as?
Oh, go ahead, E.
All
Go
right, there we
ahead.
go. I mean, but did y'all get me as far as what I was saying? Like as far as me not having my mother's name and having her married name, not my father's name, and not her maiden name. So I wasn't gonna give my daughter my mother's married name. That doesn't make any sense. So I definitely made sure that she had her father's name, so that way she could share the same last name as her brothers and sisters. It didn't have to really nothing to do with his last name because that's your father. I just wanted to be make sure that you were connected with your brothers and sisters.
Yeah. I'm
Yeah.
about to change
And
all my
they, so
kids.
y'all do
Well,
that.
honestly, I had that issue with my daughter because my daughter had two other sisters. They by the same mother and they're older. So when I had my daughter, and my daughter's father signed the birth certificate, the mother and had his last name. The baby mother was like furious with him because She was like, "Oh, you didn't the girls that my girls don't have your last name." So it was like a whole big thing. Like the last name thing is like a whole big old thing. Like it's really
Yeah,
an issue.
yeah. You know, on the new ID, it's called your real name.
Hmm. Dang.
On the new DCID, it say real name or family name, because that's your family. That's who you carry on. So that's why my brother said that it was very important that he was successful, that his children were successful, and that they understand that they all you have in the end is your last name, not even your first name, but your last name, because you could change what your family did. So that's why I try to go out and try to do things in sort of a prominent light, because when you identify by that name, it's sort of, if say for instance if someone in your family killed someone and they read their name in the paper and then they find out you're their cousin, it brings back a bad memory. So you try to make good memories and make good efforts on your last name. You try to have a name that holds weight and is respectable in society. So when you go back and do things, they like, oh, Mr. Hood, Mr. Hood, Mr. Hood, and it's crazy because I can call anywhere that I used to be at, go back to any old job and probably get a job. I can call any old associate or anything that I had business with, and I'm on good standards with them. So you know what I'm saying? So if my kids would have come in with that name, they would know them and they would treat them the same way and give them that same respect. That's sort of how what they in the government they refer to it as nepotism. But you can tell nepotism by the name. Like you get in some of these agencies and everybody got the same name. And you be like, hold up, the son, the nephew, the uncle. And you know, it's a lot of DC agencies like that, like Metro, um, DC government for sure. The people that do the trash and the trucks and all that, them dudes is cousins, brothers, uncles, but that's nepotism. And they doing
They
it because they got,
passing it on. They passing it on.
yeah, they got a good name. You know what I'm saying? The grandfather left a good impression on it. One time I walked into a building and saw a plaque for one of my friends. I told his mother they took their son up there to give him a job the same day, off a last name, because I never saw that many people with the last name. And I told him that I saw their name on the wall, and it was her father. She broke down in tears and started crying. This is a grown lady. I was like, why she crying like that? She went back up there and told them, thank you for honoring my father. They gave her son a job the next day, no questions asked. So last names do mean a lot. So it's very important that you do good things with your last
Pick
name
the
too.
right
So your
last
name
name.
is
Pick
so your
the
name
right
is always,
last name.
yeah, so your name is accepted though. So it's important. So that's why it's sort of like she said, older women understood that. Even if there was a bad name. You know what I'm saying? Like you go back like the Boxdales in Baltimore. Those are real people. On the show The Wire, the Avon Boxdale, it's a documentary about them. It's like 300 of them.
Dang.
Cousins, nieces, nephews. It just so happened that one of them was a big drug dealer, but that name holds weight in that city. Like you can't go against them dudes. Them dudes is really people that matter, no matter what nobody say because of what one person did. So how else would they be able to identify them if they didn't have that name? So they need that name. You know, it's a good thing and a bad thing. The people that don't like them, don't like you, probably won't like them. You know, but it's very important about that name. That's crazy. That it's crazy that people don't understand that. That's why Malcolm X took his name and named himself X, because he said it was a white slave master name. And once he learned the history of our people, he felt like he didn't want to associate himself with that name because the pain that it brought his family hundreds of years ago. So he called himself Malcolm X. You know, most Muslim dudes choose a Muslim name. They rename themselves, but he didn't. He just said, I'm just gonna put an X because I rather like the mark of that's what they just say. Put your mark when they used to let black people vote before they let us write. So he put a mark. He just said Malcolm X. He said that way I'm burying the family history that I had with the Littles, because the Littles was my slave master's name. His name was Malcolm Little. So he changed it and took. But your name is really important. That's why they say name your kids something dignified and don't just be making up these names like you see women doing now, spelling stuff with an E and putting an apostrophe mark in the name and all that. And that they send around resumes now about names. And you could profile people off a resume by their name. You can tell if a person is black. If you see Quanique Smith, and a white girl gonna be named no Quanique Smith. So you gotta really people gotta put thought into these names. because name is very important. People don't realize how important it is, but it's everything for real.
Look, I'm gonna tell you how right both you and Sierra are, because my uncle, who was the vice president of marketing for Radio One, Miss Kathy Hughes, um, he died basically working for her. He never retired. Make a long story short, she dedicated the whole Radio One studio in Silver Spring to my uncle. Okay, and it's called the Tony Washington Studio. That's what it's called now. And um, I'm gonna go ahead and blow her a kiss. Thank you, Kathy Hughes, because that's my uncle's studio at Radio One now, and it's called Tony Washington Studio. And not only that, my uncle, his brother, which is my grandfather, um, he has a street sign named after him right next to Providence Hospital. And it's called Paul Washington's Way. And it's right directly across from Providence Hospital in Washington, D.C. And because of their names, and I'm connected to them, that's my grandfather, and the other one, his brother, is my uncle. I've been able to go in Radio One and kick it like I'm a part of the family for a long time now, a lot of years, even before his passing. And what y'all are saying as far as these legacies is real and it's true, and I'm a representation of that out here in DC, specifically. And a lot of people don't know my story. They don't know my family, but I'm connected in a real way out here because of exactly what y'all are saying, basically.
Yeah,
So it's true.
it give you an avenue to know where you're from, like to know that, like, okay, I have a foothold in the entertainment industry. I have an established name that's credible to piggyback on and to get resources. So it's like, in a way, it's sort of like they pass that to you, even though they're gone, or
Right.
you know what I'm saying, or the case may be. So that's really what a name is, and that's what I'm saying. Like, a lot of young women don't understand that, and it's crazy that they don't. But they look at things in a spiteful way. I don't know what causes that spite, but I had a whole argument when my son was born about not naming him DeWitt or even Hood, and I just didn't understand it. But it was like it was another man involved. So the lady was like, "Well, my other baby father don't want that name, or you know what I'm saying, I can't do that because I'm with him and XYZ." So it's stuff to play into it, but I really felt like I got bamboozled into a situation where I wasn't comfortable because nothing of the situation was not doing besides the child biologically being mine. So I felt like I was dealt with in a vile way. I felt that was very distasteful. You know what I'm saying? For, to not use a cuss word, but that was a distasteful way of doing things because that's a right that I earned, though. You know what I'm saying? Like, I really took care of them and was willing to take care of them and everything. And that's the least that I wanted out of all my words. That's all I wanted. I didn't want anything else. I didn't want to dictate how you raised them, where you raised them, who he was around. I just wanted people to know that that was my son. And to this day, I still don't have a child named Hood. You know what I'm saying? So that always bothered me too. So you know what I'm saying? I
He not
understand
gonna
that
have a
legacy.
child named Hood either.
What you say, C?
I said, and he not gonna have no child named Hood either. Cause
Why? That's
nobody daughter want no child named Hood.
that's my real name, though. That's my
They gonna
real
be
name.
like, who? Hood, the Pussy Protection Program Hood.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. See, and that's tight. That's tight. It used to be because I used to hate my last name in school when they used to call the road. They used to like D Wade Hood. I was like, oh my God, that's so ugly. But as I got older, it grew on to me, and it was like a nickname, and people be looking like, why the fuck y'all calling him Hood? But it grew on people, and then now it's like people don't even call. Some people don't even call me DeWitt. I be like, damn. So Hood sort of took over, and now I'm called my last name. I got a few friends like that too. They got unique last names, but people think they calling them slang or some street stuff, but those they real last names. I'm like, oh, that's tight. So the name's important though. That's for real. That's tight. I never even knew it got that deep, but it's important. It means a lot to a man too. it's sort of respect. It's the sort of sign of respect from the
Yep,
woman.
I
You
agree.
know, it's really a respect thing. Like I respect what you did. Now understand this journey we're embarking on with this child, and you know he gonna bear your name. You know, like even in the Roman days, that's how them kings and queens was. You know what I'm saying? That's how they kept stuff like they did. Prince Harry, Prince Richard, and like yeah, they got the same names. You know what I'm saying? Along with the blood. So names is important. I never knew it was that deep, but it's I never knew I thought that passionate about it, but it's real. It's real. Like cause it means a lot and it identifies a child too. Like even on top of looking like you, if somebody read their name, be like, "Oh, the with your father?" You could just hear him, "Oh, such your father," and they be like, "Hey, like yeah," and then that person bond with them different because they know like yeah, you come from a good family. Like that's the way it was down southwest because I didn't know my family was like that down there. So it's like, oh, you BW brother, yeah, you know the way. And after that, it sort of garnished sort of respect from his peers. So I was around people that was older because I was a hood, and it even referred to them like the hood family, the hoods. So I was like, yeah. So they mean a lot,
With
you
me,
know.
it depends. I'm the opposite. They be like, "Is such and such your father or your cousin?" I be like, "It depends. What did they do?"
Yeah, see, exactly. Yeah, so that's what
Look,
I said.
Like
If they
if
left a
they
bad
did some
taste in
foul
somebody's
crap, then no, I don't know their ass.
yeah, and that's what I'm saying. If it left a bad taste in people's mouth, it bring back that memory, and then they treat you mean and messed up. But if they was good people, or they did something good for them, they always look out for you. You know what I'm saying? So it means something.
look, let's move it along right quick because it's almost the end of the show. And since it's Throwdown Thursdays, I got another Wild Lord topic for y'all. With why do y'all think I think women, maybe especially nowadays, resist multiple wives. Okay, being multiple wives when they basically share a lot of baby daddies, or baby daddies. Um, so, what y'all think about that, man? With having the multiple baby daddies, it just don't come together as one big happy family, I guess.
Yeah,
I
it's called
actually think
polygamy.
that a lot of women are more in tune to being what's that like what's the word?
Possessive.
Um no, like when you have two girlfriends.
Oh, polygamy.
Polygamy, yeah.
Yeah, polygamy. Like a lot I know a couple of couples who actually are with it. So it's like I think that in a way times are kind of changing. But on to the defense of what your point of view, I think some women are they just want their own. They don't want nobody else to have it. And everybody's entitled to what they want. For real. Like if I want a man, I shouldn't be able to have to share my man.
What you think, Hood?
Yeah, I'm about to tell you the truth. In Islam and in certain religions, you can have seven wives. And the rule that when I asked my friend, how could he have all these wives, and what was the rules for that? He said, long as he could provide for each one of them and equal rights and like far as money, then he can have up to seven wives. That's the rules for the Muslims. So like I said, so what you mean? He said if I buy one out of my house that's $250,000, the other one have to live in a house that's $250,000. If I buy one of them a Benz, I have to buy a Benz for the other one. They can't be you can't treat them no different. You can't treat one less than the other.
Hey,
That's crazy. Yeah, exactly. That's
It
tight.
is super
So
it's that's super crazy. That's
that's
super
what that's how they do it. Though. That's the only way the Muslims can have all them wives. They got it. Like so when if you ever hear a dude who a Muslim got all them wives, ask him that. If he not doing that, he not doing it right. He don't know what he doing. He not
But
following the living right.
honestly, how can somebody tell you how many people that you could love? Like if that was never mentally programmed into us or by quote unquote law, people wouldn't go by that. Like people shouldn't I shouldn't be able to tell her how many women he should be able to love at one time.
I think it comes from religion because religion is based on the standards. It's called monotheism, and it like mono means one. So that's the belief in like one God. That's how you got like the three major religions like Judaism, Christianity, and Islam all can fight each other and say like, yo, you a liar because they all saying there's only one God and they all trying to say that my God is the only God. That's the big dispute. But monotheism comes from that. So that's the belief of one white one, you know what I'm saying, one family, all that stuff. That's how it got broken down like that. But logically, I think that you should have a bunch of wives. I don't think women should be able to do that, but I think men should. Like I already told you, it ain't a sexist thing. They turn everything to a sexist
That
thing.
is, you just
Look
made
at
it really
here.
sexist. You
You
just turned it into that. You just made it like real one-way street type thing.
You know those
know,
triggers for her.
but see, that's what I'm saying. So it's different when you're a swinger. If you're a swinger, that means like your wife could sleep with somebody. Like even on the show right now, the current season, they got married, but now she wants to have an open relationship and she could have different sexual partners. And the man and he can have sex with who he want to have sex with. And it's confusing like that. It's confusing because she, like you said, you can't control who people love, but now she's catching more feelings for the man who's not her husband. And her and the husband barely even be sexual anymore because she really like has a hunger for this other man. So women are a little bit different for our sex too. Like a man to go out and have sex with a girl because he drunk. A woman put thought into who they had sex with. And that's what make it hurt, and that's what make people be feeling some type of way. Like will make a
Not in
man kill another man
2021.
because a woman be out here really loving that nigga. She ain't trying to go get her nut off. She trying to really be in love with the nigga. And so you as a man, you get upset, like I'm gonna kill this nigga. That's how that stuff be happening. Because there's not enough money in these streets for all these young dudes to be down. They don't want to admit it, but a lot of this stuff is about them hoes. And that's the God honest truth. Because no man can stand a woman trying to be promiscuous or trying to have multiple sexual partners because her feelings are involved when it becomes to sex. A man will go out right now and pay for a prostitute, a complete stranger. A woman is not going to do that.
But look, hood. If now look, if if and let's just say you got two, three baby mothers, okay, maybe even four. Now let's just
I do.
jump out. Now listen, let's just jump out there. Now listen, I'm gonna pull a Boosie here, okay? Shout out to Boosie. I'm gonna pull a Boosie here because what if all the women, okay, at least maybe up to four, three at the least. What if they cool? What if they cool with each other? Okay, what if they ain't never end up really seeing any, negative light with between any of them, even though they got the same baby father. Okay, what if boom they they cool like that? So wouldn't that kind of be like what I'm talking about, like a small happy family in a way, And that's why I say shout out to Boosie because it seemed like like how a lot of them, and he said he got a couple baby mothers and everybody love him the same, and
Yeah,
you know what I mean. So I'm just throwing it out there.
yeah, I know. It just get touchy with your current girlfriend. Like if your baby mother trying to have sex with you, that ain't gonna happen. Like far as the relationship though, they cool. They cool. Like I don't got no hard feelings. Don't none of the women dislike each other. For a long time, I never let my baby mothers meet each other. It was only two at one time down the street, but for like 4 years, they didn't even know each other at all. Yeah, what they need to know each other for? I get these children. These my children. Y'all don't need to know each other. So when they did, they couldn't even be mad that at each other because it wasn't like I cheated on one with the other. I think it's more so when feelings like that get involved, like a person lied about how they felt about somebody, and they go sneak back and deal with them. That's when I think all that. I don't like her because you wasn't keeping it up front with them. You were sort of misleading them. So I feel for people in those situations because that leaves a bad taste in your mouth for anybody. I'm not gonna lie because that's hurtful. You be
Yeah, yeah.
really you be upset about.
I hear what you're saying. I hear what you're saying with that, man. See, you got any last words on that, sweets?
Nope.
Yeah.
Well, look, man, we're gonna leave it at that. that's the podcast show for today. Street Talk Media, we live and direct. Look, everybody that's watching us now or going to tune in later, make sure y'all hit the subscribe button, like everybody else say, okay? And when they hit the likes, hit the like, hit the subscribe button. You know what I mean? Show some love because this is a show for the people. You hear me? For the people and
Yes,
by
it
the people.
is.
You
So
supposed to say like, share, and subscribe.
and subscribe. There you go. Yeah. Hood, wrap this up, man. We out of here, man.
Yeah, this Street Talk Media podcast signing off your boy Mr. Hood. So like, share, and subscribe to the channel. Let people suggest us some topics. If you got multiple baby mamas, let us know if you're still having sex with them.
Yes.
If you got a wrong man name on a birth certificate, let us know how he feel. Is he comfortable with it? Is he fighting against the state to get his name off of it? And if you out here being committed, as usual, you can always hashtag Pussy Protection Program, and we might can find you some resources, daycare
Oh
center.
my gosh. Here you go.
You know what I'm saying? Get you a free gift, get you some
Just
curry
sign
out.
off peacefully.
See, run
It's
it
your
down.
girl, Sierra C. Today's show was really good. Like her said, if you have any suggestions, topics that you want us to touch on, and you need advice on whatever, just let us know. And always feel free to be in the comment section, right? We are here. We will see everything and we can get back to y'all. Y'all can also follow us on social media at Street Talk Media. You can follow Hood, and you can follow me at underscore I am Sierra C, and we'll keep you all updated on what's next.
For sure, for sure. Yo, thank everybody, man. Thank y'all. Appreciate it. Shout out to Lady E, even though she ran out on us. She in there stuffing her face, I guess, in somebody's restaurant. So
Yeah, it's my sister's birthday.
oh, okay, that's what it is. So yeah, shout out to them live and direct. And like I said earlier, shout out to Just Paul Foon Show who be opening up on the intro. Shout out to Chris Breezy, man. Okay, again, Chris Breezy. I got the pyramid on. And again, he didn't give me this, but okay, I'm supporting anyway. Okay, lit. Street Talk
All
TV
right,
Media, we out.
all right, we out. See y'all later.
See you guys.
All right.